Well, hello, hello, hello. We are going to talk about a few things in this. Jesus' displays of supernatural knowledge, the Son of Man references in the order of appearances in the book of John, and 7 signs of Jesus in the book of John. So, first I want to say, while John presents Jesus as the Word who became flesh in John 1:14, that is, as thoroughly human, he nevertheless makes clear that Jesus displays his divine glory while on earth. This, of course, includes what Jesus simply calls his works, but what John terms as signs. Stunning and amazing acts of Jesus designed to invoke faith among those of his audience. So we also get a glimpse of Jesus' deity in the supernatural sight. One might call this a divine omnipotence. He shows throughout the book of John. So I want to bring this up. In John 1:48, it says Jesus had saw Nathanael under that fig tree. And then we see in John 2:4, Jesus knows that his hour has not yet come. We also see that Jesus foretells the nature of his own death, that violent death by the crucifixion, including the 3 days between the crucifixion and the resurrection. I mean, you can find this in John chapter 2, verse 19, John chapter 6, verse 51, John chapter 10, verse 15 and 17 through 18, John chapter 12, verse 24, John chapter 15, verse 13, John 18:32, and the lifted up sayings we see in John 3:14, John 8:28, and John 12:32. So, we also know that Jesus knows the Samaritan woman's immoral background in John 4:17 through 18. Jesus knows the identity of his betrayer in John 6, verse 70, and John 13:10 through 11. Of course, that's Judas Iscariot. Jesus knows the purpose of the blind man's and Lazarus' sickness in John 9:3 and John 11, verse 4. Jesus knows that Lazarus has died in John 11:14. Jesus foretells Peter's 3 denials that happen in John 13:38. Jesus also foretells that Peter will be martyred in John 21, verse 18 through 19. So, thus, John holds this admirable balance. See, Jesus' humanity and his deity. Nevertheless, he makes clear that it is precisely because Jesus was more than just a man that he clashed with the Jewish authorities many times throughout the scripture. They could not even accept that he was the good shepherd. And he also provides this plausible reality to the fact why Jesus' followers chose to leave everything behind and follow him. They saw him as more than just another Jewish rabbi. He was the Messiah in John 1:41 and John 1 verse 45 as well, the Son of God and the King of Israel in John 1 verse 49. The book of John chapter 1 actually touches on so much it almost summarizes the whole Bible up just in one chapter. So then we see the Son of Man references in the order they come in the book of John. The Son of Man was descending from heaven and will return in glory in John 1 verse 51 and John 3 verse 13 and John 6 verse 62. The Son of Man must be lifted up and thus be glorified. He is one who gives his flesh and blood for the life of the world in John 3:14, in John 6 verse 53, in John 8 verse 28, in John 12 verse 23 and verse 34, in John 13:31. The Son of Man is the ultimate judge in John 5:27, which we'll do later on a little study on that controversy between he came to judge and not to judge. The Son of Man as a self-reference of Jesus in John 6, verse 27, and chapter 9, verse 35. All of these verses will be in the description bar if you want to stop and read these. They'll all be in there. So then there's 7 signs of Jesus in the book of John. The first, of course, is the changing of the water into wine in John 2, verse 1 through 11. The temple clearing in John 2, 13 through 22. The healing of the nobleman's son in John 4, verse 46 through 54. The healing of the lame man in John 5, verse 1 through 15. The feeding of the multitude in John 6, verse 1 through 15. The healing of the blind man in John 9, verse 1 through 41, and the raising up of Lazarus in John 11, verse 1 through 44. So when we look at all these things, we know that the book of John is really in particular at how he breaks down and brings out the fact that Christ is the Messiah. As we've been looking at the book of John in numerous different aspects and breaking down in particular little things on this channel, we're going to continue to break down individual little sections of the book of John and continue to study the book of John. And we'll probably still be breaking down individual sections well after I'm done with the John Bible study. Time will tell, but there is a lot of theological background and truths in this book that we need to be studying as the hour is ever so closing on the return of our Messiah. So I implore you, and I am calling upon you guys to study more deeply. And the reason why I didn't read the verses out is because I'm going to put the verses in the description bar, hoping that maybe you didn't have a reading plan for today. So maybe this will give you a reading plan that you can go about this and read this as the day goes along and get an aspect and refer it to this short little video of what we were just talking about today. So much love to you all. May God bless you all. Do not forget to hit the like button and share this out.
If you like videos like this, hit the like button and subscribe. Much love to you all, and may God bless you.